Imagine standing at a crossroads where every path before you leads to a completely different life. One path leads to uncertainty, frustration, and missed opportunities, while the other leads to purpose, fulfillment, and extraordinary success. Now, what if I told you that the most powerful, life-changing decision you will ever make isn't about money, status, or even luck? It's a decision that every single person in this room and watching this video faces every single day, whether they realize it or not. This decision will determine the quality of your relationships, the depth of your happiness, the impact you leave on the world, and ultimately, the legacy you create. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey, not through theory, but through principles you can apply immediately to transform your life. You'll discover the hidden power of choice, the freedom that comes from taking responsibility, and the unstoppable force that emerges when you commit to growth. You'll see how your mindset can either limit you or launch you toward your dreams, why action always beats intention, and how living in alignment with your values can create a life of extraordinary meaning. By the end of this speech, you won't just understand these principles. You'll feel them, you'll internalize them, and you'll be ready to make the most important decision of your life. This is not a message to listen to passively. It is a call to awaken, to step into your power, and to take control of your destiny. So stay with me, because what you hear in the next few minutes has the potential to change everything. Your life is about to shift in ways you never imagined, and it all starts with the decision you make today. The power of choice is perhaps the single most critical concept in understanding how to transform your life. Every moment of our existence presents choices, whether small or monumental, conscious or subconscious. From the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep, life continuously confronts us with options. These choices may seem trivial. What to eat for breakfast, which route to take to work. But each one compounds over time, shaping habits, character, and ultimately, destiny. The power of choice is not just about deciding between alternatives. It is about recognizing that in every circumstance, no matter how restrictive or challenging it may appear, we have the ability to decide our response. This understanding shifts the focus from being passive recipients of life's events to being active architects of our future. When people fail to harness the power of choice, they often fall into patterns of reaction rather than action. They blame circumstances, other people, or luck for the state of their lives. They allow external events to dictate their emotions, behaviors, and decisions, giving away control over outcomes that are, in reality, within their grasp. Recognizing the power of choice means understanding that even in the most difficult situations, the freedom to choose remains. It is a liberating realization because it places the responsibility and the opportunity squarely in your hands. You may not control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond, how you interpret events, and what steps you take next. This principle also underscores the importance of conscious decision-making. Often we drift through life on autopilot, making choices based on habit, fear, or societal expectation rather than deliberate intention. Harnessing the power of choice requires awareness, reflection, and clarity about what truly matters. It is the deliberate act of selecting actions, thoughts, and attitudes that align with one's goals and values. When consistently applied, this practice transforms ordinary life into extraordinary life because it enables individuals to shape circumstances proactively instead of merely reacting to them. Furthermore, the power of choice extends beyond immediate outcomes. It affects long-term growth and fulfillment. Every choice carries consequences that ripple forward, influencing opportunities, relationships, and personal development. By embracing this principle, individuals develop resilience, accountability, and a forward-focused mindset that empowers them to navigate challenges, embrace growth, and consciously design the life they desire. The second key note, responsibility over circumstances, is a profound principle that separates those who feel empowered from those who feel victimized by life. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that Regardless of the challenges, setbacks, or unfair situations one encounters, the ultimate control over one's life rests within oneself. Many people spend their lives blaming circumstances, other people, or external events for their unhappiness, failures, or lack of progress. They wait for conditions to be perfect or for others to change, believing that life's outcomes are determined by forces beyond their influence. This mindset, however, limits growth and keeps individuals trapped in cycles of frustration and inaction. Choosing responsibility shifts this perspective entirely, placing the power to change, adapt, and thrive firmly in one's own hands. Responsibility is not about self-blame or guilt. It is about ownership. It requires the courage to face reality as it is, rather than as one wishes it to be. Life is inherently unpredictable, and events often occur outside of our control, but our responses to these events are entirely within our control. This principle transforms obstacles into opportunities. When a person embraces responsibility, challenges are no longer seen as threats or injustices, but as tests and catalysts for growth. By accepting full accountability for decisions, actions, and even reactions, an individual gains clarity and focus, allowing them to make choices that lead to empowerment rather than helplessness. The decision to take responsibility also fundamentally changes relationships and interactions. When individuals stop blaming others for their circumstances, they stop projecting anger, resentment, or frustration outward. This leads to more constructive communication, healthier connections, and stronger collaboration. Moreover, responsibility breeds resilience. Those who accept responsibility understand that setbacks are part of the journey, and that their response determines the outcome. They develop the ability to adapt, learn from mistakes, and persevere through difficulties. Another critical aspect is that embracing responsibility enhances personal freedom. Many people falsely equate freedom with the absence of obligations, but true freedom comes from mastery over oneself. By owning one's life, one is no longer enslaved to external circumstances or the opinions of others. Every choice becomes intentional, every action becomes purposeful, and life transforms from a reactive experience into a proactive creation. Responsibility, therefore, is not a burden. It is a gateway to empowerment, growth, and the ability to live life on one's own terms. It is the conscious decision to stop giving away power and start taking control of the direction, quality, and meaning of one's life. The third keynote, commitment to growth, is a principle that has the power to fundamentally transform a person's life. Growth is not an automatic process. It requires a deliberate decision to step beyond the familiar, the comfortable, and the safe. Most people live within the boundaries of routine, repeating the same habits, thinking the same thoughts, and expecting different results without making intentional changes. True transformation occurs only when a person consciously commits to evolving, learning, and improving in every area of life. This commitment is more than a casual intention. It is a deep, unwavering dedication to progress, even in the face of discomfort, failure, or fear. Growth demands that we consistently challenge ourselves to expand our skills, knowledge, and emotional resilience, because comfort and stagnation may feel safe, but they do not produce extraordinary results. Committing to growth also requires embracing the mindset that every experience, positive or negative, holds lessons. Failures are not setbacks, they are feedback. Mistakes are not signs of inadequacy, they are opportunities to refine strategy, approach, and understanding. When a person commits to growth, they begin to see life as a continuous classroom, where each challenge is a teacher and every success is a milestone along the path of mastery. This mindset encourages curiosity, adaptability, and openness to change. It shifts focus from avoiding difficulty to seeking improvement, and it fosters resilience because obstacles are viewed as essential components of progress rather than as threats to comfort or security. Furthermore, commitment to growth impacts both personal and professional dimensions of life. People who pursue growth intentionally develop stronger emotional intelligence, greater self-awareness, and improve decision-making abilities. They cultivate habits that align with their goals and values, ensuring that their actions are purposeful rather than reactive. Relationships improve because they learn to communicate effectively, empathize authentically, and handle conflict constructively. Career and personal aspirations flourish because they continuously seek knowledge, refine abilities, and embrace innovation. Growth becomes a compounding force where each small improvement accumulates over time to create significant, lasting transformation. This commitment also demands courage, because growth inevitably requires confronting fear, uncertainty, and the unknown. It challenges individuals to question limiting beliefs, break free from self-imposed boundaries, and pursue potential that may initially seem unattainable. Yet, it is precisely this willingness to face discomfort that differentiates those who live ordinary lives from those who achieve remarkable outcomes. The commitment to growth is ultimately a choice to prioritize long-term fulfillment and mastery over short-term comfort and complacency. It is an investment in oneself that produces not only external success, but a deeper sense of purpose, confidence, and the ability to navigate life's complexities with strength and clarity. Mindset over matter is a concept that highlights the immense power of our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes in shaping our reality. Life presents countless challenges, obstacles, and uncertainties, but the difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often lies not in circumstances themselves, but in the mindset with which they approach them. Mindset is the lens through which we interpret experiences. It determines whether we see difficulties as insurmountable barriers or as opportunities to grow, learn, and excel. Choosing to cultivate a positive, resilient, and empowering mindset allows individuals to harness their inner resources, remain focused under pressure, and take effective action even in the face of adversity. This principle is transformative because while we cannot control every external factor, we can always control the thoughts we entertain, the beliefs we reinforce, and the narratives we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of achieving. A strong, empowered mindset begins with awareness. It requires paying attention to self-talk, recognizing limiting beliefs, and consciously deciding to replace doubt, fear, or negativity with confidence, curiosity, and determination. Those who master their mindset understand that thoughts are not passive. They shape emotions, influence decisions, and guide behaviors. By intentionally cultivating beliefs that support growth, capability, and possibility, individuals create a mental environment in which success becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Conversely, a mindset dominated by fear, scarcity, or self-doubt restricts potential, limits action, and undermines resilience, regardless of external opportunities. Mindset over matter also emphasizes the importance of reframing. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable in life, but how we interpret them defines our trajectory. Individuals with a growth-oriented mindset view obstacles as temporary, solvable, and valuable for learning, while those with a fixed mindset perceive them as permanent threats that define their limitations. This subtle shift in perspective allows people to maintain focus, motivation, and creativity under pressure, turning potential crises into stepping stones toward achievement. In addition, mindset influences the way we interact with the world. A positive and empowered mindset fosters better relationships, more effective communication, and the ability to inspire and lead others. It enhances emotional intelligence, patience, and problem-solving skills, enabling individuals to navigate complex situations with clarity and confidence. By prioritizing mindset over matter, people take ownership of their mental and emotional state, transforming internal challenges into fuel for growth and external challenges into opportunities for meaningful action. It is the conscious decision to lead from within, using thought, belief, and perspective as tools to shape a life of purpose, resilience, and extraordinary results. Action trumps intention emphasizes that the value of dreams, goals, and plans is realized only through decisive, consistent action. Many people spend their lives envisioning the life they want, setting intentions, and creating plans, yet they never move beyond thought into tangible progress. The truth is that ideas alone, no matter how brilliant or inspiring, have no power until they are executed. Action is the bridge between aspiration and achievement, transforming potential into reality. Without action, even the clearest vision remains a distant fantasy, a concept trapped in the mind rather than a living experience. Taking action requires more than motivation. It demands commitment and persistence. Motivation is fleeting, often influenced by mood, circumstances, or external stimuli, whereas deliberate action relies on discipline and clarity of purpose. Individuals who understand that action trumps intention recognize that waiting for the perfect moment, ideal conditions, or maximum confidence only delays results. Life rewards those who move despite uncertainty, who take the first step even when the path is unclear, and who are willing to make mistakes and learn from them. Action is inherently courageous because it involves risk, effort, and vulnerability, yet it is also the only reliable mechanism for progress. Moreover, action creates momentum. The first step, no matter how small, generates energy that propels subsequent steps. Momentum compounds over time, building confidence, skill, and results. Conversely, inaction breeds stagnation, doubt, and frustration, reinforcing a cycle of fear and procrastination. By prioritizing action over mere intention, individuals shift from passivity to proactivity, taking control of circumstances instead of waiting for circumstances to dictate their lives. Each decision to act strengthens resilience, sharpens judgment, and develops competence, reinforcing the habit of decisive movement toward goals. Action also transforms learning into mastery. Knowledge without application is incomplete. Experience gained through action refines understanding and develops capabilities that theory alone cannot provide. It allows individuals to test assumptions, adapt strategies, and discover solutions in real-world contexts. Consistent action, combined with reflection and adjustment, produces results that compound exponentially, shaping not only external success, but also personal growth, confidence, and self-reliance. Ultimately, the principle that action trumps intention underscores a fundamental truth. Dreams only manifest when we choose to step forward, repeatedly, with courage and determination. It is the deliberate execution of plans, the willingness to move despite uncertainty, and the consistency of effort that distinguish those who achieve extraordinary outcomes from those who remain stuck in aspiration without realization. Action is the engine that turns vision into reality, and the conscious decision to act decisively defines the trajectory of a life filled with purpose, accomplishment, and fulfillment. The sixth key note, living your values, is a principle that emphasizes the profound impact of aligning actions with one's deepest beliefs and sense of purpose. Every individual has a set of core values, principles that define what is important, meaningful, and non-negotiable in life. These values serve as an internal compass guiding decisions, behaviors, and priorities. When people make choices that reflect their values, they experience a sense of integrity, fulfillment, and authenticity. Conversely, when actions contradict personal values, even small compromises can lead to dissatisfaction, guilt, or a subtle sense of disconnection from oneself. Living in alignment with values ensures that life is not just a series of tasks or achievements, but a coherent, purpose-driven journey where each action reinforces identity and meaning. Living your values also enhances clarity and decision-making. Life presents countless choices every day, many of which can feel overwhelming or conflicting. Values act as a filter, simplifying decisions by providing a clear framework. Does this choice reflect what I truly believe and what matters most to me? By using values as a guide, individuals reduce hesitation, doubt, and regret, and gain the confidence to act decisively. This alignment strengthens consistency in behavior, creating trust in relationships, credibility in professional settings, and a sense of inner stability. People who consistently live their values are able to navigate challenges with resilience because their actions are rooted in principle rather than impulse or convenience. Moreover, living according to values fosters purpose and motivation. When goals and actions are connected to deeply held beliefs, effort becomes meaningful and sustainable, even in the face of obstacles. Work, relationships, and personal pursuits are no longer mere obligations. They become expressions of who one is and what one stands for. This connection between action and principle provides energy, focus, and persistence that purely external rewards cannot generate. It transforms ordinary routines into intentional practices and mundane tasks into purposeful contributions. This principle also extends to leadership and influence. Individuals who live their values naturally inspire and guide others because their consistency and authenticity demonstrate reliability and integrity. People are drawn to those whose words and actions align. And value-driven behavior creates a ripple effect, positively affecting families, teams, communities, and organizations. Ultimately, living your values is about conscious alignment, ensuring that every decision, every action, and every commitment reflects what is most meaningful. It is a lifelong practice of introspection, courage, and intentionality, creating a life of coherence, purpose, and deep satisfaction that extends far beyond external success or temporary accomplishments. In conclusion, the most impactful decision you will ever make is the decision to take full ownership of your life, to embrace responsibility, to commit to growth, to master your mindset, to act decisively, and to live in alignment with your deepest values. Each of these choices is a stepping stone toward a life of purpose, fulfillment, and extraordinary results. Life will always present challenges, uncertainties, and obstacles, but the power to shape your reality, to create meaningful success, and to experience true satisfaction rests in the decisions you make every single day. The decisions you make today ripple into your future, influencing not only your own life, but also the lives of everyone around you. By consciously choosing empowerment, growth, action, and integrity, you set yourself on a path where dreams transform into reality, potential becomes achievement, and ordinary moments become extraordinary opportunities. So, as you move forward, remember that your choices are your superpower. Choose courage over fear, responsibility over excuses, growth over comfort, action over hesitation, and values over convenience. Every step you take in alignment with these principles brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. I wish you the very best as you embrace this journey of conscious decision-making. May every choice you make propel you toward success, happiness, and fulfillment beyond what you ever imagined. Thank you for listening, for committing to your growth, and for taking the first step toward living a life that truly matters. Your future begins with the decisions you make today, so step forward with confidence, clarity, and unwavering determination. Good luck and thank you.